There's a major legal showdown brewing in the real estate world, and it could totally change how you buy or sell your next home online. So let's dive into this fight between two absolute giants, Zillow and Compass.
So what's all the fuss about? Well, it all kicked off with a new policy from Zillow. In Compass's response, they filed an immediate and pretty aggressive lawsuit. The real heart of this thing, it's a battle for control, for competition, and really for the future of how real estate listings work.
All right, so to really get what's happening here, you first have to understand who's in the ring. On one side, you've got the biggest name in online home searching, and on the other, you've got a powerhouse in the brokerage world.
Now, Zillow and Compass are two very different beasts. Think of Zillow as the giant digital town square, right? It's where millions of us go to window shop for homes. Compass, on the other hand, is the brokerage. They're the ones with the agents on the ground, actually selling those homes. The whole conflict ignited when Zillow, the town square, made a new rule, and Compass immediately sued to have it thrown out.
The policy that's causing all this drama is officially called the Listing Access Standards. Kind of technical, I know, but in simple terms, it's Zillow saying no to certain kinds of private or exclusive listings on its site. And that's a move that directly hits how brokerages like Compass do business.
So let's look at Compass's side of the story. They're not just saying, hey, we don't like this rule. No, they are going way bigger. They're flat out accusing Zillow of being an illegal monopoly.
And check out how they're framing this. They're positioning it as a matter of public interest. Their argument is that stopping Zillow isn't just about their own bottom line. It's about protecting all of us from what they're calling a potential antitrust violation.
So what kind of damage are they actually claiming? Well, according to the lawsuit, they're saying this ban totally undercut their unique marketing plan, it's hurt their reputation, cost them business opportunities, and, maybe most importantly, it's actually harming the very people trying to sell their homes.
So here's the absolute core of their accusation. Compass believes Zillow is so incredibly dominant in the world of online home search that it's basically a monopoly. And they allege Zillow cooked up this policy for one reason, to squash competitors who need to stand out with unique listings.
But of course, every story has two sides. Zillow has a very different take on all this. So let's flip the script and look at their defense, which is built on some pretty fundamental ideas, including the right to choose who you do business with.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Zillow's trump card is the First Amendment. They're arguing that being forced to display listings they don't want is a violation of their free speech. It's like them saying, hey, this is our platform. We get to curate what shows up here.
Zillow's defense really has a few layers to it. First, they point to FTC guidelines, saying any company has the right to refuse service. Then, they frame the policy as something that's actually good for consumers because it pushes for all listings to be seen by the widest possible audience. And then, in a really interesting twist, they claim this policy actually protects the little guys, the smaller brokerages, from being pushed around by giants, like Compass.
So you've got these two heavyweights throwing powerful legal punches. The full trial is still a long way off, but the court has to make a decision right now that could have huge, immediate consequences.
You know, you can really boil this whole conflict down pretty simply. On one side, you have Compass saying this policy is anti-competitive and causing damage that can't be undone. On the other side, Zillow says, no, our policy actually protects competition, and by the way, it's our First Amendment right. It's a fundamental clash.
So what Compass is asking for right now is something called a preliminary injunction. Just think of it like asking the referee to hit a big pause button on the game. They want the court to block Zillow's policy temporarily while the main, much longer lawsuit plays out.
And the person who gets to decide whether or not to hit that pause button, that's Judge Jeanette Vargas. Her ruling on this is going to be the first major move in this whole corporate chess match.
Look, this lawsuit is so much bigger than just two companies duking it out. Whatever happens here is going to send ripples across the entire real estate industry. It's going to affect agents, buyers, and sellers everywhere.
At the end of the day, this is a battle for control. It's about who gets to write the rule book for the digital real estate world. Is it going to be the massive online platforms like Zillow or the powerful on-the-ground brokerages like Compass? The answer is going to define this industry for years.
And all of that leaves us with this massive question. In an industry that's being completely remade by technology, who should have the power to decide how it all works? The platforms that connect millions of us, or the professionals who actually close the deals? That is the billion-dollar question right at the heart of this entire fight.